Hi, this is Phil Potempa, and welcome to another edition of Notoriety. I'm your host, and each week we bring you everything you want to make sure you mark on the calendar. All that water cooler talk, everything that everybody is talking about, things happening in Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland, and beyond. And of course, this is the broadcast equivalent of all the columns, feature stories you'll read at the flagship Post-Tribune newspaper under the umbrella of Chicago Tribune Media, including those south and suburban publications as well. We're just so happy that you're here along the ride. Today we are coming to you on the final day of September of 2025, so September 30th to earmark in case this is a rebroadcast and you might be hearing it broadcast a little bit later down the line, or you've scrolled in your social media and you're wondering what's happening. Some of you've got the added advantages of seeing everything happening in our studio with courtesy of our webcams here through Jed TV. As we broadcast from the Strachan Van Til studios here in Hammond, others might be joining us on our traditional radio airwaves. We're just glad that you are along the ride, and we couldn't be here without our generous and underwriting sponsorships that come from the folks at People's Bank, and over the years, the kindness of the Legacy Foundation and the Indiana Arts Commission. For those of you that are tuned over the radio dial, you may not be able to say I have some co-hosts joining me. Tony Panek is back. Hi, Tony Panek.
Back once again here.
And Luke Miller. Luke Miller, Two Eyes and Two Owls. Thank you for joining us. I think you picked this broadcast on purpose because our radio folks are going to be sorely missed in that they're not going to be able to see what's about to be unveiled.
What do you mean?
This aroma in the air. Last week we were all about shopping and all the wonderful things that happen in our region. This time we have an extra special surprise when it comes from the culinary world. It's time to plan where you're going to eat, and that is the key word as we have our special guest entering in our studios.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about here, Phil. I just came to the show. I thought, we were going to have a nice chat. Maybe something about Broadway. Maybe something about, a show coming up. What are you talking about here?
It's not often I get to put on this apron, which shows the Post-Tribune and, of course, the farm column I do on Sundays and have done for these past 20 years or so. This case, it's more than appropriate because our guest today is somebody who is a leader of the business world that is in Hammond and really throughout Northwest Indiana. You might have had maybe a few chips or toasted a margarita or two at El Taco Real.
Wait a second. Is this who I think it is coming on here? Is this who I think it is?
I think you might be right.
The longtime busboy of El Taco Real and owner of Eat in downtown Hammond, Raymundo Garcia.
Who ordered the biscuits and gravy?
Right here.
What?
Wonderful.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Look at this. All right.
Like Jed eating on the air, maybe.
Why not?
This is wonderful. Have a seat and join us. Tony, you would say the expression "no stranger to these airwaves" because Raymundo has hosted more than his fair share of morning shows here over the years. This looks absolutely wonderful. Now, can we get a tight camera shot first? I'll be the hand model, and it shows the luscious biscuits and gravy. And boy, these are so soft.
So just a little explanation, and I can't hear myself, but it's okay. Everything that we do at Eat is just a little bit different. We're not trying to copy anybody.
Perfect.
And we do everything proprietary. Everything is our own version of stuff. So this is not your grandma's biscuits and gravy. In fact, that's how we market it. It says on the menu, not your grandma's biscuits and gravy. Come on, Tony.
Look at I'll dig in right here. Okay, we'll do this already.
He's going to eat them all, believe me.
Let's try it.
I got to dig in before it's all gone.
Should we stand? I'll bring it here a little bit.
Different.
Here.
Unbelievable.
Oh, my goodness.
You're going to be so surprised when you see the sweet corn texture of the goodness.
Typically, biscuits and gravy, and God bless America for coming up with this amazing dish. It's flour, fat, water, and salt. And that's fine. Fast meal, hearty, get stuffing in your belly. But we're trying to do something that's a little bit different. So this is actually what the French call a bechamel. It's a regular roux. I instead of using chicken stock or water, I use a hearty beef stock. So that's why you're getting that color and that beef flavor. Lots and lots of meat. And I didn't want to do just a plain biscuit, which, again, nothing wrong with it.
Sure.
But I thought sweet and savory. So you've got sweet in the biscuit, a little bit of chunks of corn, and then the sauce is kind of spicy. I hope it's not too spicy.
No, it's perfect.
No,
I mean, that wakes you up in the morning
balance.
right there.
But it's hearty. It's
hearty.
There's a lot there. So I hope you like it.
Oh, well, more than phenomenal. And so for everybody that's tuning in, and, of course, nowadays we think of WJOB and the span of reach is far beyond just what we have in the region because of the fact that we have also folks that are tuning in through the web, and so they're capturing where your culinary background goes back how far with Taco Real? Then we're going to go on to eat.
Well, I mean, to be very flattered to say somebody I have a culinary background. I'm not a professional. I started cooking when I was very, very young. I mean, I'm talking 6, 7 years old. My grandparents had a restaurant in the harbor called El Farolito, and they taught me because I was a kid, and they sat me up on a milk crate, and they taught me how to make eggs, how to. I remember as a really, really young kid. I mean, I'm taking 6, 7 years old. My grandma taught me how to make liver and onions. Now, why is a 6, 7-year-old kid not only making it but eating it? You know, I mean, liver and onions.
Yeah.
You got to be kidding.
I love that.
After that, my parents moved into Hammond, and my parents opened up El Taco Real. And again, as a young boy, I was tasked to take care of the restaurant. And in the restaurant business, you cannot just do one thing. You can't be the busboy. You can't just be the dishwasher. You have to do everything. And so I concentrated on all aspects of the restaurant business. My favorite spot was what the French call the pass, the PASSE. It's where all of the food goes from the kitchen to the dining room. That was my favorite position because everything funneled into that one spot. So I had the opportunity to literally see it to finish every plate that came out of our kitchen, whether it was cleaning the edge of the plate or making sure that I was fanatic. I remember teaching when I taught, make sure the tomatoes are evenly spaced. It can't be just on one side. It's got to be even. So much of eating is smelling.
Presentation.
But so much of eating is presentation, is looking at it. So I enjoyed that. So I did that for many, many years and enjoy it. I really love it.
You really took over the helm when, would you say, then?
Oh, out of college.
Out of college.
So like in the early 80s.
And it is true. You and I, we have the same thing that we sometimes have to always clarify. People will say, oh, we want to get your advice. You write your food column, Phil, as a chef. No, not a chef, just a country cook. Just grew up in a kitchen and same thing, although I tell you, I am enamored by anybody who's able to make a go and be successful in the world of restaurants. They come and they go throughout our region, throughout Chicago. There are many reasons for this. How close are the reality shows that are these restaurants? There was one show called The Restaurant that was on. Did you still, as an actual person who lives it every day, think, yeah, you're only getting about a tenth of what really happens here? Or no, some of that was pretty fairly accurate, the drama that can happen. And the number crunching.
Yeah, I think that a lot of those are scripted and they're made to be dramatic, overly dramatic than it really is.
Gordon Ramsay yelling at people.
I really like some of those and some I don't like, but far be it for me to tell other people what's right, what's good, or what's bad. I'll tell you what. There's a movie called The Big Night.
Oh.
Watch The Big Night. That is really very very closely associated with what my experience in the restaurant business. Yes, there's pressure. Yes, there are people cutting their fingers in the kitchen, but it's not like yelling at each other.
So do you still, at your level, and I know you're in the trenches every day because I see what I eat there. I see everything you're doing, rolling up your sleeves. Are you still sitting at a desk, though, once or twice a week and doing your own order to try to do that crystal ball of, well, we need this much, but I don't want to over-order because I don't want to see bad produce? Man. Or somebody else does that for you now?
That's one of my main roles anymore. I don't run the pass anymore. I still bus tables and I still have the servers, but my main role is to make sure that we have good product. I do all of the inventory. I do all the payroll, but also I do all the tasting, quality control, as you can see. But literally, I will walk through the kitchen every day and take a small spoon, and taste everything that we produce, and make sure that's right on salt, make sure it's right on seasoning. All of that stuff is critical to me.
And how many years for El Taco Real?
52.
Amazing.
I don't know how I can be in the restaurant business 52 years. I'm only 46.
But I'm telling you, even
nobody seems to believe that. I don't understand.
Even with Eat, and Eat is a brand that maybe folks are still learning about, right in the heart of Hammond, Toll Theater thing, right in the thick of it downtown.
Right.
Eat has been around for a while because I can remember one time a special promotion for A Christmas Story, you making a gazillion turkeys and eating roast turkey dinners on one weekend and Eat. How long has Eat been there?
We did that. Thank you for remembering that. That was a huge success. Free turkey dinner, dressing, all that stuff. Eat started as an experiment in what I call social ecology. We were talking earlier in the green room.
That's what we call it there. Yeah.
Call it that.
about how things happen in towns and how cities are associated with their downtowns. We talk about New York, you think Manhattan. You think about Chicago, you think Gold Coast. Well, Hammond's downtown was very, very popular. When I was a child, you couldn't walk downtown without bumping elbows with people. It was very, very populated. And later on, it became abandoned. It became a sad place. So social ecology, I decided to try and revitalize it, even if it was unilaterally, revitalize downtown Hammond. The only way you can do that is by private investment. Mm-hmm. It's very, very difficult for municipalities, for cities to determine what happens. No matter how much money a city invests in an area, until there's private enterprise, until there's private investment, it will not take on. It'll always be perceived as the city trying to do something. So I started buying up properties in downtown Hammond. I bought 4 buildings and 2 empty lots, and they were all broken, had broken windows. I cleaned them up, took off the gang graffiti, fixed the windows, cut the grass, took away the abandoned cars, and did all of those things that broken window series suggests. And I'm so lucky that the mayor's office, Tom McDermott, the city council, they saw this as an opportunity, I think, to put more attention to downtown. And now look what's happening there.
When you start up with something like that, you have a vision in mind, right? But when you're first getting started, you're like, well, geez, what am I doing? Is this right? Is this the right path? But could you always see I could accomplish this, that the vision could come into fruition?
And
here?
what was the history of each of those buildings? What had previously been in there, or were they a number of things?
So as you, Tony, people said I was an idiot. They said, you're stupid, you're crazy, why are you doing this? Take your money, put it in your pocket, and go to the Bahamas. I'm not that guy.
No.
My building was once the original Bank Calumet. It was called something else. It was a savings and loan, and Bank Calumet eventually moved one block down to become Bank Calumet. Okay. And then my building became an FW Woolworths. So it was a Woolworths for many, many years. And then when we were kids, it was I should say in the 70s, it was like a hair salon. It was also another bank. They divided it up. So I bought the building. It was in terrible shape, horrible shape.
Yeah.
And the first couple of years was literally just cleaning it up, demolishing all of the things that had been done before, taking out all the interior walls, taking out all the electrical, all the plumbing, all the lighting, everything. I really wanted a tabula rasa, a clean slate. And then we started building it up. It became I didn't know what it was going to become. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't know what. I just knew it needed to be something. In fact, anecdotally, every construction guy will say that a project has to have a name, and the project name was the destination building, because we felt that what downtown Hammond needs is a destination, some reason for people to come back, and that's what we did. So obviously, over the years, it's a nightclub. We have music. We have live music there. Yeah. It's also a banquet hall. Mm-hmm. So many people were coming to Taco Real and saying, "Hey, can I rent? Grandma's turning 80, and we want to rent, the Taco Real for 50 people, 60 people." 70. I can't do that. We don't have a private room at Taco Real, so we built this other facility as a sister to Taco Real. And then, obviously, as time has gone on, we needed something that's going to be a little more consistent, open more hours. Yeah. And so I thought, well, let's do a brunch. It's called an American Bistro. We do innovative stuff like this. Mm-hmm. We borrow from all cultures. There's a staple among the Latinos called chilaquiles, and we call them chili willies. But our chilaquiles, again, proprietary. It's like nothing you ever had. I use black beans instead of pinto beans. I use a different kind of sauces. We cut our tortillas differently. It's really, really innovative, really delicious. We make a sloppy Joe that'll blow your mind. The macaroni and cheese, again, it's not Kraft, take out of a box, add water. It's a French technique. You make a bechamel. You make it into a mornay. We use 5 different kind of cheeses. It's fantastic.
So you're talking about feel good food here.
Oh, my
comfort
goodness.
food.
Yeah, comfort food.
See, and this is why I did this. And not to belabor the point, but I chose, or I was born into a career that, I mean, if I had become a lawyer, or if I had become an architect, or if I spent 7 years at university, if I become a professor, because I chose to feed people, I get to be involved in one of the top 5 most intimate acts of a human being.
Yeah.
In your case, I don't want to know what the other 3 are. It's really none of
Not on the air.
None
Not
of my
on the
business.
air.
But eating is so critical. It's so basic.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
You feel upset. You eat, you feel better. And I got the opportunity to do that for people. So I love the restaurant business. And since I've done it for so many years, I wasn't going to open up a record shop at the corner of Sibley and Home. Corner of Sibley and Home, by the way.
Great spot for a record shop around there.
Well, maybe.
You mentioned any of these things. You mentioned a sloppy Joe or mac and cheese or biscuits and gravy. Immediately, just like when I'm writing about my columns, it takes people to a certain place, a memory, a feel-good moment.
Sure.
Oh, I remember that on our lunch tray. Oh, I remember Mom would make this on a Saturday morning. And when speaking of memories, like when you mentioned the old Woolworths, last week when we had It's Just Serendipity on, there was some great retro plastic Halloween masks, some of which could have been sold originally at that old Woolworths,
wouldn't be surprised
and now
to
have
say
made their
Woolworths
way
had 'em.
into a curiosity boutique of collectibles as well.
Well, that's another building that I bought in downtown Hammond, and again, without really having any kind of specific purpose, there was no specific capitalistic reason to buy that building other than take off the broken windows, revitalize the downtown area, take this blighted-looking building and make it into something. And Karen Maravilla always was a junker, and she always liked doing that kind of stuff. So I'd say, hey, look, actually, Eat had its origins at that building.
Really? I didn't know
It
that.
wasn't going to be called Eat at the time. It was going to be called Serendipity Cafe.
Oh, really?
And so our original use of that building was going to be a cafe, a little coffee shop. But the city council and the code book would not allow us because as a restaurant we needed proprietary parking. So there was a detail on the city code that would not allow us to have a cafe there. So I thought, well, what else are we going to do? I said, well, Karen, let's fill it with stuff and see what we can go at it.
Yeah.
But again, the reason is bring people downtown. That was
And since you bought that building, Hammond is going through a kind of a period where they're rebuilding. The South Shore coming in, they're redoing the downtown
You're going
and
to have some
planting
new neighbors,
trees.
some apartments, fancy,
Yeah.
swanky apartments coming
The
right
apartments.
next door.
How does
there.
that make you feel seeing this kind of come all true
Yeah,
here?
full circle.
Well, I would like to think that when all the dust settles and when everything is said and done, that somebody's going to remember that I was one of the guys that started this revitalization or at least bringing attention to downtown. I mean, if they named part of the street after me, I wouldn't say no.
No, they should.
I don't feel vindicated. I don't feel like, oh, this was me. I'm just very glad that other people that were more important than me, that had more money than I do, got on the bandwagon and said, there's something to be had here. That's capitalism. When, like I said before, if a government invests money, people don't really look at it. But if private money, real Benjamins, start coming into an area, then other capitalists say, I don't want to be the last guy on the bus. I better get on this now before it goes away. And when I first started, I was literally the only resident in downtown Hammond. I could have walked downtown Hammond naked, and nobody would have known. And now at all time of the day and night, I run into people. It's amazing, fantastic, very, very proud
That's
of
good.
it.
Our young Luke here just graduated from Purdue, right down the street in Hammond.
Great, thank you.
He's got a birthday coming up, going to be 23. He's looking for his apartments. He's thrown out Hammond. He said Highland, but downtown Hammond, revitalizing these new apartments that are going up. So it's kind of the hip area. Movers and shakers are certainly scouring that area. And then we love that there's that arts district. You've got the Toll Theater right there.
Paul Henry.
Of course,
Henry's
Paul
right
Henry.
there, too.
Oh, Tony's
Yeah, Paul Henry.
hangout
We were just
spot.
talking before the show. They're under like 600th jam night already. It's hard to believe.
Well, certainly, if somebody said that I had something to do with it, I will say that this is not just the beginning; it's towards the middle, but certainly not the end.
Yeah.
No.
This is an arc that's going up.
Yeah.
There's still talk about the Goblat site being developed. Several hundred more apartments, brand new apartments there, proprietary parking. We're hoping to get a parking lot over the JCPenney property so that people can visit downtown Hammond and have a place to park. The toll needs more parking.
Yeah.
So this is not the end. This is definitely in the middle.
And everything is right there. There's a Strax right there.
Right.
Of course,
Yeah.
the big federal government building is right there. it is sort of its own oasis right there, and it's so close to the state line, but so much more affordable on our side, right?
Well, you know who's occupying the bank buildings? A lot of Illinois people.
For those folks,
Because it's much more affordable, even at the prices that these brand new apartments are calling for.
Yeah.
It's still more affordable. Well, the water department is coming downtown as well.
Really?
The
Okay.
water department has occupied the former People's Bank building.
Oh, all right.
And so people are be able to come into downtown Hammond, pay their water bill, and stop in to eat.
I might have asked you this before too, but for you, Taco Bell, eat, going out to a restaurant, eating somebody else's food, is that hard for you? Because you probably have a different palate than some of us have.
Well, that's a very interesting question. I appreciate you asking. I grew up in a very very strict environment, very strict parents. My mother kicked the bejesus out of me. I tell a lie. So they raised a person that's very, very honest, and my father is about as subtle as a Louisville Slugger, and so they raised a person that was very blunt and honest, and that doesn't fall well on a lot of people's ears.
It needs more salt.
I think people would rather hear a polite lie than a blunt honesty. So I try not to say too many things in restaurants.
Okay.
Do I feel that way? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I criticize? Yes. But I am a very peaceful, loving person. I criticize only to help and say, hey, you know what? I wonder if you did it this way, it might change. But there are a lot of great restaurants in the area, certainly in Maryville, in the wider Northwest Indiana, and I go to them. Sure.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's a close network of folks, and I want to say again, you give back so much to the community. A buddy of mine you've met many times, Johan, he's at Bishop Knoll teaching. You're always donating and helping out with Bishop Knoll. You're always helping with catering events, and you give back a lot to the community, and
That's
so
what it's
we're
all about.
grateful.
We cannot as capitalists take our money, put it in our pocket, and go to the Bahamas. You have to find a level of satisfaction in your life, live at that level, and then learn to give back. Because without the environment, without the community, we wouldn't be here at all.
The cycle stops.
That's
The
right.
cycle stops. That's right. And so I don't do that.
So
Thank
now
you
we
for
have to go to
noticing.
the part where Luke and Tony, what do I call my hard-hitting questions?
Oh, your Larry King,
John
Joan Rivers
type of
question,
questions, and they're really not that hard. But I've been thinking a lot lately about you, and especially with Eat, and also you taking over, your parents' heritage with everything at El Taco Real. Last week when we lost a fun character actress, Polly Holiday, who played Flo on Alice with Mel's Diner.
Yeah.
In some ways, you're kind of the Mel that's running the whole diner. Have you had waitresses that, wow, there are some that are long-termers. They've got their own personality. They are certainly hustlers. Is it tough today to find a waitress like that can think what the customer needs even before they know what they needed? Here's your water. I'll be right back. Here's a menu. How's that going for you?
It is a very, very different atmosphere. The new generations don't have that. They're in their cell phones.
Yeah.
They don't have the same idea that we did growing up in the '60s about service. I've got people that have been working with me. I never say for me, I say with me. 50 years. I got 50-year people.
Wow.
I've got 40-year people. I've got 30-year people. I respect my staff, and I think that they love me and I love them. Finding today a person that will do the same thing is very, very difficult. To be honest, it's hard, very, very difficult. They don't have the same work ethic, and I don't want to be critical. I don't want. They have a different work ethic. Let's put it that way. They grew up differently. They grew up with some of them with COVID, some of them with wars, different from Vietnam. It was just a different environment. So yeah, it's very, very different.
And that's even changed, do you think, more since COVID? Go back to 2019, 20. Is it a whole different world since then for hiring and
Absolutely.
I've noticed that too. There's just a change. And again, not to point to Luke, but Luke spent his high school years at Gavitt during COVID. Didn't have a prom, didn't have a graduation because those were those two key years. You don't have as much socialization to be out there. And boy, if you're going to be a waiter or a waitress or a server or a busboy, you've got to be able to give a smile, right, to that folks that make them feel like they're at home.
I moved out of my parents' house when I was very, very young. I was still in high school.
Oh.
And I got my own apartment. I put myself through high school. I graduated midterm, so I didn't go to prom. I didn't go to any basketball game. I didn't go to a football game. I didn't go to pep rallies. I didn't do any of those things because I was working, because I was at the taco. And by the time I was 16, 17 years old, most of my friends were 10 years older than me because they were customers of the restaurant.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that environment. But I still was brought up by a couple of real hustlers. My grandpa was a hustler. My father's a hustler. And that's what they instilled in me, is the idea that, if you find a nickel, rub it hard enough, get 6 cents out of it, and to work hard and to keep going. But most importantly, the most important thing that I would give to young people is find something that you like to do and figure out a way to live at whatever level of life you want to live at doing those things. We have in America emphasized the wrong thing.
Yes.
We go to college to get a job that makes a lot of money. I was an advisor in my college years, my university years, to younger kids, and a lot of my cohorts did not like what I told the young kids, because I told them college isn't for everybody.
Right.
Maybe it's for you, maybe it's
Right.
not. If you like to turn a wrench, you become a mechanic.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's a plumber who makes probably $1.25 a year as a plumber. So it's college isn't for everybody. Go to school, get an associate's degree, find out who you are, what you like, and then pursue that and try to live at that level.
This is a wise man. Who's told you that same expression about find something you love to do and be able to make a living on it, and you'll never work a day in your life?
Well, right, sure.
I've said it before. Oprah has said it before. It's so key. We just have to, as we close here, just add another couple fun questions
Please,
here.
please.
There may not even be an answer to this one because you have that menu so fine-tuned at El Taco Real, but I'm curious, over the years, was there ever something that you thought, we're going to add this because this is going to do game, and wow, it just did not. Maybe we're going to try Mexican street corn.
Liver and onions, maybe.
Or something,
Liver and
and you
onions,
know what?
Make a mean liver and onions.
Yeah.
You can't just program for yourself, the customers just didn't want it, so we just didn't continue this dessert or something.
I'll answer the question this way. Some years ago, there was a national food magazine called Next Course. Now, it's not Time Magazine. It's a foodie industry magazine. So Next Course gave me an award, and the award ceremony was in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And they invited me to Fort Wayne, and they gave me this really beautiful plaque, and we were in the magazine, but we were half of the award. The other half of the award, it was for the Midwest Mexican restaurants. I was half of the award, and the other half was a guy by the name of Rick Bayless.
Oh,
Rick Bayless.
I think I might have heard of Rick before.
Yeah, Rick is amazing. So when I got to the award ceremony and they had an assigned seat, I'm sitting in this chair and I look over a couple of seats over. That's Rick Bayless. I didn't say nothing. Like I feel like a child. Like, oh, can I have your autograph? Because I didn't know that we were sharing this award. He got the half for most innovative use of Mexican cuisine, and I got the award for most consistent. The most consistent restaurant in the Midwest, Mexican style restaurant. And that's answer your question.
Yeah.
Yes, we innovate, but my main focus is to do the same thing over and over and over again, year after year after year, so that people that were raised in Northwest Indiana, in Hammond, in the region, and moved away and come back to visit Grandma, and they come to Taco, and it's the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not broke, don't fix it.
And I'm going to tell you something. That's a very, very difficult thing to do. It's a lot harder to do than you might think. To be consistent, always the same, have people come in and have it taste the exact same way, same textures and everything. It's really, really a challenge. So yeah, we do some innovation. We brought in fajitas several years ago when fajitas became a fad. Years ago, we didn't have chicken, and so we started doing chicken things. But it's a slow-moving train, and I like to be very consistent with what we do.
Everything that you do, I'm telling you, it's top-notch, and always a reason to come
Thank
back.
you.
Besides the wonderful margaritas you get to lift a glass of
Well,
Friday. Yes, Tony, something
We should say,
here?
where can Raymundo, people want to look at Eat and maybe rent it out and use it for a private event? How can they reach you?
Well, my private number is actually you call my private number 219-512-4008. We are booked up for the rest of the year.
Okay.
We're booked, but coming in spring we'll have opportunities to book parties, and we do everything. We did a bat mitzvah. You wouldn't believe the fun that these people had at Eat. They did the Ava Nagila and they ran around the place. It was amazing. We did a 100th birthday party.
Wow.
Last year we did 2 brothers married 2 sisters. And that was 50 years ago, and they had their 50-year anniversary.
wow.
It's amazing. So, yeah, we do private parties, and just call me.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know how I've done the show for 8 years, and you've never been a guest at all of this show, but please come back.
Oh, I'd love it.
We
I'd
could
love
just
it.
talk and talk and talk, be it food, be it region, be it history, nostalgia. We love all those. We check mark all those boxes.
Did you finish the biscuits over
I
there?
did. That's why I put it.
I
it's
see
really
some
to the
left.
side here.
Yeah, I love it, but do I pick up my check afterwards?
After Jed,
Afterwards, okay.
talk to Jim. Jim will have it.
Talk to Jim. Very good.
He'll have it. Or Sam over there.
You just gave it away there.
There you go.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you to Coase. We have our Luke Miller. We have our
Hey.
Tony Panek. And most of all, thank you, our viewers, our listeners, for being part of our broadcast. I'm your host, Phil Potempa. We'll be back next week again. We hope you enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or wherever your evening or day may take you. Thank you.